Hello guys, welcome once more to class online. Now, have you ever wondered if you have ever had problem with an aspect of physics called moment diagram? You know that moment diagram that has to do with long line. You have to draw a long ruler and you have to show forces coming down. If you've ever had that as a problem, we are going to address that in this video. Also, if you've ever had problem with relative density in water and in some other liquid, then you are going to find a question that will answer that misunderstanding in this video. So stick to us. Once again, welcome to Jamb Physics 2015 question number 21 to number 25, and we shall be destroying Jamb. Don't forget that I am Tutor Dami, and in this episode we shall be dealing with many questions that many students find difficult, and we shall be simplifying. Don't forget that if you learn something from this video, to click on like button. We have contents that will better help you understand physics. Now let's get to number 21 now. It says the total eclipse of the sun occur when the dash A, moon is between the sun and the earth, sun is between the moon and the earth is between the moon and the sun, the ozone layer is threatened. Now what do you think is the meaning of eclipse of the sun? Actually, eclipse of the sun is the same as solar eclipse, and it occurs when the moon, like I have here, is in between the sun and the earth, full stop. So, and you know, of course, the ray of the sun falling on the moon will cast a shadow on the earth, and that is why there will be eclipse. The moon is blocking the sun, and it will reflect on the earth, causing an eclipse. That's why they changed to night. Like, I remember when the last eclipse happened, I was in school then, and it just went from afternoon, 12 in the afternoon became midnight, that we couldn't see. And that was simply because it is explained by this phenomenon. The moon is simply blocking the ray of the sun and casting a shadow on the earth. So the simple answer to that question is eclipse of the sun occur when the moon is between the sun and the earth. That is called solar eclipse. However, there's something called lunar eclipse or eclipse of the moon, and that happens when the earth is between the moon, the sun and the moon, and that is when the earth is in the middle. But when the moon is in the middle, it is called eclipse of the sun, and that is the answer to number 21. So a moon is between the sun and the earth, and that is called the eclipse of the sun or the solar eclipse. Now remember that the shadow casted by the earth, this deep shadow is called umbra, and the not too dark shadow is called the penumbra. So there are two types of shadows. The very black one is called umbra, and the not too black one is called the penumbra. Please take note. That might be a question for some other time. So let's go to number 22 now. It says, which of the following pair of colors gives the widest separation in the spectrum of white light? Now, can you remember the color of white light? Now, you know that there are actually 7 colors, right? Those are the 7 colors of the rainbow, right? And here they have Roig Beef. It's given by the formula Roig Beef. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, right? Those are the 7 colors of white light. But which one has the widest gap between them? Which of the pairs have the widest gap between them? We have A, we have green and yellow. Let me check. Let's check it out. Green and yellow. Are green and yellow far? This is green and this is yellow. They are actually beside each other. There is no gap between them. So A might be wrong. Red and violet. Let's see that. Red and violet. Red is here and violet is here. That's very wide. That is the largest distance. That means they are at the extreme. They are at the 2 extreme, right? Red and violet are at the 2 extremes. So I guess that should be the answer. They are the widest separation. We have red and indigo. Let's check it out. Red and indigo. Red and indigo are also far, but not as far as red and violet. Okay, so the widest separation. So let's see. The last one is yellow and violet. Yellow is here. Violet is here. They are also far, but not as far as red and violet. So the farthest or the widest separation is between red and violet, and that brings us to the answer as B, red and violet. Let's check out number 23. Which of the following with respect to a body performing simple harmonic motion are in phase? Now, before I go on with this section, please don't forget the 7 colors of white light that I said before. Roig Beef is the formula. It will remind you of all of them. Now let's go back to this one. It says, which of the following with respect to a body performing simple harmonic motion are in phase? Now, when you are performing simple harmonic motion, you know it has to do with, like, you have this bulb here. This is simple harmonic motion. It is when a body's displacement is proportional to its acceleration, it is simple harmonic. and that is the main point in simple harmonic motion. When displacement, what do I mean by that? Now the ball was initially at the middle here, then it displays, but as it's displacing, it will, the more it displays, the more the acceleration it will gain when it's coming back. So when displacement from the middle point or the point of equilibrium is directly proportional to its acceleration back, that is called simple harmonic motion. Now, but there are two things that are important that are in phase, and that has to do with these matters: velocity and acceleration. Now, you know, at the maximum point, the velocity of the body is actually what? You know, at the maximum point, that means at this place, at this point, the velocity of the body is at the maximum. That means at the equilibrium point, at the equilibrium position, that is here, at the middle here, the point of rest. Okay, that's the equilibrium position. The velocity is at the highest. That means when the ball is running back this way, when it gets to this place, the ball will be at the highest speed. But at this end, it is at 0 speed because it is stopping and turning back. So when it is stopping and turning back, that is velocity 0. But at the middle point here, when it's rolling, it is going from here, swinging this way, and it's going this way. At this middle point, it is at the maximum. So velocity is at maximum. And at that point, the acceleration has fallen to 0. So at this point, the acceleration also, they are in phase at the midpoint. So at this point, the acceleration too has become 0. And the velocity is at the maximum. So it is an interplay between acceleration and velocity. The speed of the ball is at the fastest point, at the middle here. And at that point, acceleration is also 0. That means that the ball has fallen, accelerating, and it has landed here. So at this point, the acceleration is also 0. So this is called phase. This is the point where the two of them are in phase. At this point, acceleration and velocity are in phase. That means they sync. The acceleration is at the maximum and the velocity is at 0 at that point. And that is what the question is asking. And that brings us to the velocity and acceleration of the body. They are in phase. That means they sync. Okay, now let's check out number 24. A uniform metal rule weighing 0.5 Newton is to be pivoted on a knife edge at the 30 centimeter mark. Where will a force of 2 Newton be placed from the pivot to balance the metal rule? Now, this is a moment question, right? Now, and you have forces that are at equilibrium to each other, right? Now, when you see this kind of question, don't get freaked out and just don't get scared of it. Actually, you have to follow the question and draw it carefully. Now, follow the way I drew mine. Now, I have a uniform metal rule weighing 0.5 Newton. Whenever you are drawing a moment question like this on a metal rule, the total length of the metal rule is 100. That means you know naturally, they won't have to tell you, you should know that from here to the end of the metal rule is 100 centimeter. And we have it in our lab. They are always 100 centimeter. Okay, so that's 100 centimeter automatically. Okay, now, but they say that the weight is 0.5 Newton. That means the weight at the middle of the metal rule. So the middle of 100 is 50. So therefore, you place the weight 0.5 at the middle, and that is 0.5 Newton at the 50 centimeter mark, which is the middle, and that is where the weight of the metal rule is. So whenever you hear the weight of the metal rule, you know it is at the 50 centimeter mark, which is the middle of the metal rule, which is the center of the metal rule. Okay, and that's where you place the 0.5 Newton force. Pivot on a knife edge at the 30 centimeter. Now the pivot is at the 30 centimeter, right? Like my drawing. Okay, it is turning at the 30 centimeter. Okay, where will a force of 2 Newton be placed from the pivot to balance the metal? Now you have to place a force of 2 Newton. You have to place a force of 2 Newton at the other side of the metal rule. You know, for you to have your balance, the weight must be here and here. So it must balance. So the second force must be at the other side of the metal rule in order to balance it. So that means I could place the force at the other side, not where the weight is. Oh, let's wait for that plane to go. Let's go on from here. Now, the other force needs to be placed where at the other side of the pivot, right? But I don't know what distance it is. I just placed it there, 2 Newton, but I don't know how far it is. Now, then the next thing to do is to say clockwise movement equals anti-clockwise movement. That means this side equals this side. That means the right hand side equals the left hand side. So now what is the right answer? You know, moment, the word moment means force times distance. Okay, actually it is force times perpendicular distance. So the force at this side, the first force is 2 Newton. 2. Now what's the distance? You have to minus this point from this point. 2 from this point to the pivot. That's 30 minus x. That is the distance. This is the distance. Note this, 30 minus x, and that is what I have here. That's the distance. So this is the force and this is the distance. Okay, now the second one, the second side, the force is 0.5 and the distance is 5 to 30. 5 minus 30. So it is all about force and distance. That's all that moment is all about when you want to calculate it. So that's, you have 2 times 30 is 60, 2 times x is 2x. Then the force is 0.5 times, actually this is 50 times 30 is 20. So 0.5 times 20 is 10. So I have here 60 minus 2x equals 10. Okay, now the 60 will move to this side. That will become minus 2x equals 10 minus 60, right? Minus 2x equals 10 minus 60, right? Then minus 2x equals minus 50. Because 10 minus 60 is minus 50. So you have it here. The next thing is minus cancel minus 2 divide both sides by 2. So s is equal to 25 centimeters. And that is how you solve questions on moment. It is just all about the clockwise force and distance must be equal to the anti-clockwise force and distance after you finish drawing it. Okay, so if you do that, you will naturally get your answer. And take that from me, you will always get the right answer. So let's check it out now. And that brings us to the answer as D, 25 centimeters. Now let's take the last one on this video. A solid weighs 10 Newton in air, 6 Newton when fully immersed in water, 7 Newton when fully immersed in a liquid X. Calculate the relative density of the solid. Now when you hear the relative density of something immersed in liquid, it has a formula. Relative density of something in liquid is simply this. Very easy. Weight in air minus weight in liquid over weight in air minus weight in water. Full stop. This is the master formula for anything relative density of something immersed in liquid. Full stop. It's just air minus liquid over air minus water. And that's just it. So relative density, therefore, what's the weight in air? 10 Newton. Minus weight in liquid is 7. Over weight in air is 10. Weight in water is 6. 10 minus 7 is 3. 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 over 4 is 0.75. And that is my relative density. Full stop. Easy peasy. And that is just it. So the answer is 3 over 4. Now, actually, they didn't change it to decimal. I went ahead to do that. But it is still the same thing as 3 over 4. And that makes option A the correct answer to that question. And that brings us to the end of this video. Don't forget, if you learned something from this video and you want to get more content that will better help you understand, click on the like button and we'll get to meet you with more content that will help you destroy Jamb. Until we see you next time, guys, take care of yourself and bye for now.